What's up everybody, it's Luke James, not the singer. If you're an indie artist looking for an album review and some promo, you can hit up Luke at redmattersite.com. And what I finally have for you guys is my review for Lupe Fiasco's new album, Tetsuo and Youth. This one got pushed back a bunch of times, but is finally here, so I want to get right down into it. I don't want to do a big long intro. But after you watch this review, hit me up in the comments section and let me know what you think about this album. Do you have any theories about the songs and the concepts on here? And do you think that this is Lupe's best album? Let me know and I'll get back to you. Now, as is always the case with Lupe Fiasco, he is bringing all kinds of crazy bars and concepts on this album, so there's no way that I'm going to be able to touch on everything. Take the opening track, Mural, for example. Well, the album actually opens up with an instrumental called Summer, and there are 3 other instrumentals on here as well. There's the interludes, Fall and Winter, and then the outro track is called Spring. So you can see that he has a seasonal and cycle sort of concept going on here. But back to Mural. It is an 8-minute long verse where Lupe is just spitting about everything. And that one part where he's talking about heat waves and waving his hands is just... the shit is crazy. And he even shouts out where I'm from, where he says that he paints cold pictures like Nova Scotia landscapes. So that was a good look, Lupe. And if I'm being honest, you're probably going to have to pop open Rap Genius in order to follow along with everything that Lupe is spinning about on Mural. But if you're a fan of intricate lyricism that requires multiple listens and dissection, this song and the entire album is your dream come true. As for the beat on Mural, it's produced by the Buchanans, and it flips the same sample from Young Jeezy's song Beautiful, which was on his Seen It All album. And as much as people have questioned Lupe's beat selection in the past, I think he did pretty damn good on this album. Because there are some samples on here, some live instruments, some trap and drill elements, and he even did some production himself. Along with DJ Simon Says, he co-produced the song Dots and Lines, which has a catchy hook and is all about the dangers of signing to a major label, because as we all know by now, Lupe has had some different issues with Atlantic. And the beat immediately caught my interest because of the banjos on the intro and the outro. It also has some very warm strings that kick in, and when the beat builds up on the 3rd verse, it just gets absolutely beautiful. And the whole production kind of reminds me of some classic Kanye. I think it's the strings that are doing that, because they sound just like the violin on Overnight Celebrity. There's also some very smooth production on Body of Work, which features a sax solo from Terrace Martin. And keeping with the topic of the beats on this album, DJ Dahi brought that heat. He produced Chopper, Madonna, Adoration of the Magi, and They Resurrect Over Now. And these are all great songs. Chopper is a 9-minute banger and posse cut that features Billy Blue, Buck of Psychodrama, Trouble, Trey the Truth, Family, and Glasses Malone. And even though that's a bit of a weird collection of rappers, they all absolutely kill it. And I love the hook that Lupe brought when he spits that he got his filet mignon from his food stamps, his car co-signed by his mama, his medical card from Obama, and he has to do a background check to get a chopper. And the reason I like that is because it shows you how people can get things in America even if they're not in the best situation. You can eat good, you can get a car, you can get your medical issues looked after, and you can even get yourself a ridiculous gun. America! And that's just a small example of how Lupe brings great content on Tetsuo and Youth. The song Madonna features a bunch of biblical references and is about a single mother raising her son in a rough environment, and it also features vocals from Nikki Jean, who also supplied her voice on the songs Little Death and No Scratches, the latter of which has a sultry beat that sounds like something from a TMN softcore porno. Not that I know what that would sound like, I'm just saying maybe. There's also the song Blur My Hands featuring Guy Sebastian, where Lupe addresses his haters and sticks up for his views and opinions when he spits that he has a deal with words, so he's always going to keep it real. But the track that really blew me away is Prisoners 1 and 2. This is 2 separate songs on one track, but the content goes together as the first half of the song, Prisoner 1, is about an inmate, and the second part, Prisoner 2, is about a prison guard and his sense of feeling trapped since he has to spend most of his life in the same facility. It's a very interesting song that explores the depths of incarceration, and it also explains the inner workings of the jail system from 2 different perspectives, so I thought this track was just crazy. So like I said earlier, this album is deep as hell, and there's no way that I can cover everything, because Lupe is known to spit bars and drop songs that have multiple meanings. Take for example the song Delivery, where he's rapping about how the pizza man don't come here no more in regards to rough areas. But then Lupe gets on Twitter and says, what if I wasn't saying pizza man, I was saying piece of man? So then, if you take that idea and keep in mind that the next song is Madonna, which is about a single mother raising her son without a father in the picture, so there's no piece of man there, etc., etc. These are just some of the concepts that I've thought about and have read from people, so it's getting crazy what people are coming up with in regards to this album. And it's only going to continue because you could come up with a million theories about what Lupe is doing on here, and that's what makes it so great. That said, for some people, I think this album might be a little bit too much. And at times it might feel like a chore trying to understand Lupe's history lessons and all of his crazy references. But it's also still a very accessible album because of the production and the catchy hooks, so I don't think it's too far out there, and everybody should be able to get some sort of enjoyment out of this. I really feel that Tetsuo in Youth is just one example of hip-hop music at its best. The production is on point, the lyricism is complex, there's a ton of deep references and social commentary going on, and you're just going to pick up on something new every time you listen to this album. Whether or not you agree with Lupe Fiasco's views and how he presents them is a whole other discussion, but I think his overall execution with this album was fantastic, and Tetsuo in Youth could easily be argued as his best album, so I give it a 4.5 out of 5. That's just what I thought about Lupe's newest album. Let me know what you think in the comments section. I want to hear all your theories and ideas. Is it too much? Is it weird? Do you think it's Lupe's best? Etc., etc. Do all that other good YouTube and social media stuff where you like, you share, you follow me, you retweet, and you especially subscribe to my channel. I'll see you next time.